Oh, I have before, but why would I get down on my hands and knees if you're going to?
Do you want to put that on your brochure?
Me too. Yeah, that's just it.
He's going to put that on his campaign brochure.
Okay. I can do it.
Commission meeting will not happen if I'm not there to plug this thing in.
All right. What is that laying there? No, the papers.
Don, can you hear me? All right.
Who didn't get the revenues in their book?
Oh, I
those are
did.
Brenda's, because your book wasn't here. Okay. Yeah, we had a mediation in here the other day, so they move things around. Okay.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I brought it
Troy, why don't you turn on this microphone? Just got
Which microphone are you talking about, Nate?
the cordless.
The one that goes on the stand.
It's, red buttons are pushing hold the button down.
I put the batteries on there.
Helps if you put them in right.
Come on, and then
You got your thumb over the switch.
Just doing what he told me to do. We're all doing it.
Yeah, you probably better not put that on there.
Are the batteries?
It looks
still
like a
good?
fail.
Oh, there's
One in backwards?
Just
Never
for
mind.
your information,
my Commissioner Van Dusen,
I just bought 2 bags.
Getting a
I
call
just
from
bought 2 bags.
Atlanta,
on
Georgia.
Sunday.
I bought it myself,
Yes.
I got it.
I
Not the most important thing.
I
Right up there with
did
that.
stock up.
Because that's quite
Working
reasonable,
now?
that pair of shoes.
Yeah, we had it.
Now you got to point the wrong way.
Find a deal on
It
candy.
is 9 o'clock.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'll turn my mic on. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is August 14th. It is time for our weekly Cottington County Board of Commissioners meeting. We will open the meeting with Pledge of Allegiance. And who wants to lead it this morning? Charlie, you want to lead it?
Okay.
Commissioner Waterman, go ahead.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Charlie. I can't help to think that when I watched some of the preseason football games the other day, and I'm just waiting to see who's going to take a knee and who doesn't take a knee and that kind of stuff, and it just frustrates me when I see that. And I'm sure glad that we can honor the flag here in our weekly meetings and continue to do that. That being said, there's some housekeeping chores. If you have a cell phone, which I do, and I don't think I've turned it off, silence it or turn it off. And if you do get a call that you need to take, please step out into the rotunda so that you don't disrupt those that are speaking. Appreciate that very much. This meeting is being streamed live, so if you address the board, you certainly will need to know that you are being streamed live. This is just for a heads up. Is there anyone in the audience today that would like to address the board that is not on the agenda? We ask that simply so we can allow time so that they can express whatever they need to share with us, and I see none, so with that...
I'll make a motion to approve the
We have a
agenda.
motion to approve the agenda.
Second that.
By Hatton, a second by Gable. I heard Troy as well. By the way, Commissioner Van Dusen is participating in the meeting by electronics. He is moving his daughter into college today, and his wife said he had to be there. It's sort of like life or death or something like that. So we've all been there, so we know all about it. So good luck, Troy. We have a motion. We have a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Do we need to do roll
Opposed,
call?
same side.
Do we do roll call?
Oh, I suppose we better do roll call
or
because
just-
we do not have Troy here.
Or you could just
present.
ask Troy separately, we've done it both ways.
although we couldn't hear him plain and clear.
What the policy says, Mr. Chairman, is that you should at least.
We
at
have
least
to do roll call.
Yeah, or just take Troy's vote separately, make sure you hear his vote clearly separately after the rest of
And
the
I did
vote.
hear Troy's vote, so.
All right,
I'm good
let's
with
go on
that.
to number 2, approval of the agenda. We did that. Go on to number 3.
Move to approve the minutes as
Approval of the
emailed.
minutes of the August 7th meeting. Is there a motion? Brenda made the motion.
I'll second that.
Gable second. Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Commissioner Van Dusen, I heard you loud and clear. Would you repeat what you said?
Aye.
Aye, okay, good. Just so we have it covered. Ayes carry, opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Let's go on with number 4. Let's go to monthly reports. Auditor, Cindy, what you got for us today?
We are waiting on the state for our centrally assessed valuations. Once we have those, we're going to be able to calculate tax levies. I am still waiting for some of the schools to submit their budgets to me before we can get completely underway. And then later this week, we anticipate having our ballot information from the Secretary of State's office with the position for the parties on the ballot. So we will know who goes first on our ballots. We'll follow what the state does. If whatever party they draw first follows down to the counties. So if they picked out the Libertarian Party to go first on the ballot, all Libertarians across the state would go on first, and then the other parties are also drawn.
That's something new, because we used to all do that individually as counties, right?
Nope. The primary we do.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The primary we do because we have 2 separate ballots, Republican and Democrat, so we draw for our own candidates then. But in the general election, candidates are placed on the ballot according to political party.
Gotcha.
So whoever gets drawn first, that party's candidates go on first. And then we should be able to get those ballots ordered.
Okay.
That's what we're waiting for right now.
All right, any questions for Cindy? All right, let's go on to Director of Equalization, Shauna. Good morning, Shauna.
Good morning.
Good morning, Shauna.
Good morning, Mr. Van Duzen.
Good morning.
Is this on?
Yeah, it is. At least I turned it on, I think.
Okay. Does it seem to be working?
Yeah.
Yep, all right. Okay, so the appraisers are out, and they're actually starting their last township. We'll be starting Pelican Township this week. And the office staff and I, we're working on our daily sales and splits. But we are starting to pack up the office. Kind of looks like a bomb went off down there. We are not 100% sure when we're moving exactly. Dial a move is scheduled for, is it the end of this week?
I want to say the 20th. I want to say
Next
the 20th. Yeah.
Yeah,
It should,
next
I mean,
week.
most of it's going to be that day.
Right.
Yeah.
So we are trying to get ready for all that. I don't really have much else to report, but I do have a couple travel requests later on, and I just wanted to explain a couple of them. You guys have already approved for us to go to school, the SDAO school in September. The classes that we had requested are actually full, and so we will not be attending that this year in Spearfish. So instead, I would like to, not that we'd like to, but they are having a land valuation, lot sizing workshop in Pier that we would like to attend. And that, by going to that workshop in Pier, we'll be saving about $3,000, which will help us out with the move, the difference between school and that workshop. And then the Department of Revenue is throwing a workshop for egg valuation. Talk to us a little bit about, what happened in Brown and how we should be doing things. They're having, my paperwork shows 1 of 2 days because they have a workshop in Aberdeen and they have one in Sioux Falls. And one of them, you can only have so many people. So basically, since we're in the middle, he's going to let us know which one he wants us to go to, which one is too full for us to go to. That's why it says Sioux Falls or Aberdeen. One's on Monday, one's on Tuesday, but we'll only be attending one. We're just not sure which one has the room for us, which one he wants us to go to quite yet. Just to explain that.
Yeah, we'll wait
Yeah,
until
you-
the travel portion to
I just
act
wanted
on
to
those.
explain why it's out of order.
Right.
While
There's two
Sean
of
is
them on
here,
there.
have you had any input on the buffer strip resolution? We put that off until next week to allow, anybody else to ask for any other bodies of water. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you had any input?
I have not had anybody
Okay.
come in, and I honestly think that Mr. Foot has really done his homework. I don't foresee anybody else coming in, but,
Okay.
you never know.
They mentioned that stray horse one. I don't think that's on there.
What did you say?
Stray horse.
Straight Horse Creek.
There's just
That
a
was it.
small area, it's kind of over in the Kransberg area. I'll maybe get a hold of Roger and ask him. I think that's one
Yeah,
of them.
Stray Horse Creek is not listed currently.
Yep. So,
I had another question, before you call Roger, I had another question about Showman's Lake too. Something to think about. So.
okay.
Good. We did have, Lee and I did go on the Upper Sioux River Watershed tour yesterday, and there were NRCS people on with us. We had an opportunity to discuss and talk a little bit about the meshing of the different programs, and I think it's all going to work pretty well.
We do have action on the agenda first thing next Tuesday, and Jay Gilbertson is traveling up from Brookings, so if you don't think you're ready with it,
Let him know.
we should let him know so he doesn't make an unnecessary trip.
And he wants to be on right away at 9
Well-
in the
Yes,
morning, so.
and that, yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And basically, I could let Jay know about that stray horse because he's the one who
Yeah.
has all that information and put it on the
Okay.
application, so, or the resolution.
Okay, any more discussion, any more questions for Shauna? Thank you. Back to work.
Thanks, Shauna.
Get those boxes packed up. Ready to move. All right, let's go on to number 5, action to approve the auditor's account with the treasurer and note the register of deeds fees, and that's in your packet, that information.
And this report shows you the cash and cash items on hand as of the last day of July. We actually go into the treasurer's office and we count all the cash on the last day of every month to make sure we're in balance. Shows you where our checking account is at. It also shows you our general ledger cash balances. And then it shows the amount that we are paying out to the schools, the townships, the cities, and the towns for the taxes that we collected in the month of July. And then the Register of Deeds fees for the month of July were $34,838.
Motion by Hatton to approve. Is there a second by Waterman? Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none? Let's go back to the voice vote. That way it won't be so cumbersome and it won't take that long.
Gable,
Aye.
Waterman,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Van Duzen.
Troy, are you there?
Yeah, hi, sorry about that, my phone was breaking up, guys, but aye on the vote.
And Hanson.
Aye.
All right, that's 5 in favor.
All in favor? Indicate by saying aye, and that's what happened. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the motion carries. Let's go on then to number 6, action to approve a Hall Road agreement for the wind energy project. Rick, what did we get done this week?
Well, we don't have one to approve yet.
We don't have one to approve yet.
Microphone there. Thank you.
We do not have a haul road agreement ready to be approved yet. There was language in there that I sent back to have him change it, and he's having his colleagues in Brookings go over it and see if there's anything that needs to be added or deleted, so that's where we're at right now.
Should I put it on the agenda for next Tuesday?
Yes.
So what are we, next week for sure then?
Yep.
Okay. All right. We have the wind people there.
Miss-
Have
Yeah.
you been having correspondence back and forth showing them the
No.
changes? Or?
No, because it's all preliminary, so
Got it.
the only one I shared anything with was Becky, to have her read it over and stuff, so.
Yeah, and so Becky, they want Becky to take a look at it.
Yep. Yep.
All right, next week it'll be on the agenda. Sorry, folks.
That's okay. Perfect, thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's go on then to number 8, action to approve a notice to bidders.
Wait,
Or
Mr.
7,
Chairman,
action to approve the appointment of an assistant highway superintendent. And there, when we get to the personnel changes, that shows up in there. But Rick, what do you share with us, what you have or what you've done?
I've asked Lynn Solberg to be the assistant superintendent. Charlie Waterman and Terry Satterley sat in on the interviews with him, and they both agreed that he'd be a good man for the position.
Okay.
And that's your recommendation?
Yes, my
I'll make a motion
recommendation is
to-
for Lynn Solberg.
make a motion
Now,
to,
should we do the motion here, or should we do it during the?
We'll do the motion here, and then when we get to the personnel changes, we're setting his salary.
Okay, very
So-
good.
I'll
yeah.
make that motion.
We have a motion by Gable, second by Waterman. Any discussion? How long has he been with the highway department?
7 years.
7 years, okay, good. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. No, we'll go through the roll call vote again. Cindy?
Gable,
Aye?
Waterman,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Van Duzen,
Aye.
Hanton.
Aye.
And the motion carries.
Motion carries. Let's go on then to number 8. Action to approve a notice to bidders for the highway department's request for a 1-ton diesel truck. And that is in the budget. You have a handout in your packet that I think goes over the request. I saw it here earlier. If I can put my finger on it now.
Right after your
Right here,
minutes, there you
yeah,
go.
right here.
Yep.
And so Rick, go ahead and share with us what you got.
This is just a cab and chassis. We're building a new sign pickup. And this was something that was in the budget to, our old one has between 350 and 400,000 miles on it. We hardly hate to see it leave town, but we have to. Kind of herd it down the road anymore, but I'm not really sure what else I can tell you on it. Rick had spec'd it, well, that he wanted a boom and stuff on it, and I had gotten with Jim Sutton and gotten some criteria on things to add and subtract, so now I'm working on a box. I started with Dakota Bodies to start off with, so I don't know if it'll end up there, but that's where.
What's the estimated cost on the box? If it's under 50,000, we don't have to bid it.
It's under 50,000.
Okay, then if you just get some proposals that,
Okay,
yeah, if it's under 50,000,
because
we do not need to bid.
the pickup, I thought I could buy off the state bid, but they don't have one that I was looking for. So that's why I'm putting it out to bids. So, but
Okay.
the box, that, I wasn't sure on that, so, but that'll help me a lot.
Okay, good.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Hanton to approve the request. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Gable. Any discussion? Any more discussion? Any more discussion? Seeing none, we'll call a voice vote again.
Gable,
Aye.
Waterman,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Van Duzen,
Aye.
Hanton.
Aye.
That's 5 in favor.
Opposed, same sign. I see none, so the motion carries. Let's go on then. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks.
Let's go on then to number 9, action to purchase equipment to upgrade the camera system in the detention center. And we have the sheriff and the correction officer here.
Morning, how's it going?
Good morning, gentlemen. What are we looking at?
Well, I've got an extra one here, we've got one passing around, but looking at upgrading 9 cameras, a DVR, and some of the equipment for the camera system for the jail. Some of the cameras that we have are extremely old. We have budgeted money for this in jail improvement fund,
Yeah, we haven't seen
and just looking to spend $13,000. This is gonna be a several phase thing to kind of get the cameras all updated. This is what I would call first phase of this project, so looking to spend $13,000 right now, $13,348.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Hatton to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Van Duzen. Any discussion?
With that DVR, now that Sarah just put her system in, will that still be compatible with?
Yep,
cameras
yep,
and all
it'll
that?
be compatible with, actually, we have several DVRs.
Oh, okay.
So this is just one of many that we have that we're gonna be upgrading. The main portion of this is cameras that we're gonna be updating, so,
And you said it was budgeted.
yep.
Yeah, it's budgeted item.
Okay.
Any more discussion? Anything else? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye, and we'll do a voice vote again.
Gable,
Aye.
Waterman,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Van Duzen,
Aye.
Hanton.
Aye.
That's 5 in favor.
5 in favor, no nays, motion carries. All right, thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thank you.
Let's go on to number 10 then, action to set a contract payment for HR and labor negotiations services. And we've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. Terry, we had one, did we have a contract earlier?
Well, previously we paid Terry $1,500 per month. But then in July, when he was only going to do the HR, you took action to lower his salary to $1,200 a month. Now that he's taking back up the labor negotiations plus the HR, is it appropriate to move him back to his $1,500 is your decision?
I would make that motion. Go ahead.
To raise him to back to the 1,500 that he.
Motion by Hatton to go back to the 1,500, a second by Waterman. Any discussion? Terry left the commission room.
What
So-
about,
Go ahead, Charlie.
We never did have a contract with Terry. It was just kind of a good gentleman's agreement, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And I would like to
Just
see that
action in the,
carried forward.
action in the minutes is all we had.
yeah, and that's what this would be as well. Brenda, did you have something?
no, it can wait.
Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Seeing none, voice vote.
Gable,
Aye.
Waterman,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Van Duzen,
Aye.
and Hanton.
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Let's go on then with number 11, and this is action to approve health insurance premiums and employee-employee split of premium costs. Cindy, you have the information on that. It should be in our packet as well. At least I saw it.
Yeah, I
think those-
prepared a worksheet that we send out to employees
Other than the email.
every year so they can make their selection on which plan they want to go with. I've included the new premiums, the renewal premiums, so I guess it's up to the board to decide if you want to accept these renewal premiums and keep the employer-employee cost split the same as in previous years.
This is what you,
Was that a motion, Commissioner Gable?
no, I'm asking, did, you emailed this, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
fine, this-
yep.
And that information came to us electronically.
Yeah.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Hatton to continue as we have in the past.
And this is with Sanford Health Insurance.
Correct, with Sanford Health.
I'll second that motion.
We have a second by Van Duzen. Any discussion? Any discussion?
This was as, this kind of follows up on what Mr. Kranz talked about with us
That was Ray
before.
Kranz's
Yeah,
recommendation to stay with
Yeah.
Sanford, based on the fact that our renewal percentage was lower than the national
Yeah,
rate, yes.
right,
6%.
yeah.
It was just under 6%, and I think the national rate is, was it 7 or 8%? I don't remember now.
Right, and what most of the
Yeah.
department heads put in was 10% of the
Yes,
budget.
yes, yep.
This was good.
Any more discussion? Seeing none, we'll do a voice vote again.
Gable,
Aye.
Waterman,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Van Duzen,
Aye.
and Hanton.
Aye.
5 ayes and no noes, all, motion carries. Let's go on to number 12 then, action to approve a resolution to cancel outdated on-cash checks for remittance to the South Dakota on-claim property. And that list is in your packet. Everybody find it? There's a total of $487.38. Is there anybody on that list you know that,
There are 18 checks listed here. They run from $4.87 to $162.08. So annually, if these checks are not cashed and we cannot contact the recipient, we are required by the state of South Dakota to turn this money over to the South Dakota State Treasurer unclaimed property. And then these people have the option of going to that site once they publish this once or twice a year, I can't remember for sure, and you have the opportunity to go and claim these funds.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion by Hatton to approve this resolution, and a second by Commissioner Giebel. Any discussion?
And we do try to contact as many people as we have access to reissue checks. I know we did reissue one just last week, so.
All right, you heard the motion. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Voice vote.
Gable,
Aye.
Waterman,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Van Duzen,
Aye.
Hanton.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let's go on to 13, which is always on the agenda, a review of the 2019 budget requests. But maybe this is the time when we should, we had
Oh yeah, I did provide everyone with a little bit of a worksheet showing
Yeah.
you some comparisons from 2018 to estimated 2019.
the one with the yellow on it.
The other thing is I have had a question on the rent for the Veteran Service and the Welfare Office. Is their monthly rent supposed to be coming out of government buildings, or should it be assigned to those two individual offices? Because I'm not sure if those departments budgeted for that. That's something we'll have to check into, and then if there's any changes to be made, we can do that when we hold our hearings in September.
Is there a typical way of doing that? I mean, what,
Well, they were housed here.
It's just a matter of where are you going to take
Yeah.
it from.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to budget from it. They were housed here at no cost to them previously.
Yeah.
They were part of the government buildings budget for utilities and everything. My opinion is they're still part of government buildings,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
those budget funds should
be
be
like the nurse's
within.
office is going to be
The
that way?
nurse's office is separate because we actually get a reimbursement.
Even for the rental that we have to pay?
For the
now?
rental, yeah.
Okay.
I would, and they have budgeted for that in their 2019.
That's right, for part of that, okay, for the
Yes.
dietitian.
Yep,
okay, yeah.
yes.
I would say that we should just leave it under government building.
That'd be my suggestion.
Yeah, because it was not their choice to move, and they are still considered part of the government buildings family, I guess you could call it. But anyway, that's something to think about before we,
I do appreciate
finish up the
this,
budget.
this worksheet. This brings everything, together, all of the requests and all of our increases and decreases, and we have to be ready to act on this because it has to go to print soon.
yeah, I've already sent it to the papers because it takes them a while to get that Excel spreadsheet set up for publication. So I have sent it to to both newspapers
Right. And
already.
every Tuesday in September, we have budget hearings.
Correct.
And then we adopt the last Tuesday.
Correct. Well, yeah, actually, the wording is it's supposed to be adopted before the 1st of October, but we always do it at our last meeting in September. So, yeah, we will hold public hearings on the 4th, the 18th, and the 25th. The 11th, I think Charlie is the only one who will be in town, so there will be no board meeting on the 11th unless you want to meet sometime else that week. Because we will be at convention on the 9th and 10th.
I think the 25th will work. won't it?
For adoption, it will, yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's just, we would only have,
So 3 meetings total that week? the rest-
3 meetings in September instead of 4, yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Yeah,
And I have sent an email out to all the departments telling them to plan accordingly unless you hear differently.
Cindy, could you include us in that so we know the schedule of the meeting?
Oh, yes, yes, yep, yep.
All right, Cindy, thank you, appreciate that. As in the past, when we have our public hearings and reviewing the budget, we never get anyone here. And you may get asked about the budget, so keep this handy, just review this information that Cindy shared with us, so that if somebody asks you about something, you probably have the answer right here. Thank you, appreciate that, good information. All right, let's go on then with the progress with the courthouse remodel project. Any change orders or anything we have to deal with there, Lee?
No, Mr. Chairman, just like I said, I'm expecting one on a fan coil unit in the coming weeks. So, but nothing as of today.
You're expecting one on what?
A fan, one of those heater units, that one of these kind of things that sits under for the attorney-client conference rooms. So, I'm expecting that. But other than that, right now you can see the phase 1 is finishing up, and so just ask the public to bear with the clerk of courts and the equalization office over the next couple weeks as we're trying to get everything moved around. So that's a major shuffle. So.
If you haven't had a chance to stop down in the new clerk of court's office, do it. It looks very nice down there, and it's coming together. It's good to see there's ceiling in there, there's carpet on the floor now, and they're moving desks in, and probably a week from now they'll be in there, won't they?
Yeah, hopefully they'd be operational within the next few days.
Yeah.
That depends on the ability to get the phone lines and everything, all the data links hooked up, switch from one office to the other, but that's the ideal. We'll see. It'll be a little bit of a shuffle for a week or so.
One of the questions I had from someone is in reference to signage. All the signage is going to have to change in the courthouse. As far as where the offices are at. I don't know, have you looked at that, Lee?
Yeah, I think that's something. The signage that we have in the courthouse, we don't have a lot of it right now compared to, say, some places, but we also have some changeable signs right at the main entrance. So that's easy to change. That's no cost. Somebody just needs to unlock those signs and change
We
them.
did put up some temporary signs because apparently we've had a number of WIC clients still coming down to the office
looking for the nurses,
downstairs
yeah.
and
So-
asking the construction workers where to apply for WIC.
So that's for the county nurse. So that they've been out of there for months.
For-
So
we don't
Yeah.
understand why some clients,
just
maybe
didn't
they
get the
haven't
word. Just
visited,
didn't get the
but
word. But I do.
we did put some signs up for that, and
But
then,
But I do think we're going to need some permanent signs. That nothing spectacular. I don't
just
think.
like
just
the
some-
ones we've currently got.
And that's something we
You
can
don't
take
want
care
to
of.
put the running signs up, like in some of the courthouses we visited, it said what trial was being held in what courtroom, and we have 3 courtrooms
Yeah,
now. We're big time.
that's been the clerk of courts has asked about that, and that might have that's not a very expensive thing to do. So that would like a flat screen that says which trial is taking place in which courtroom and that kind of thing. I think that's down the road, but I don't think that'd be too difficult to do. Well, yeah, and I'll have to look into where the funding source that might be something that the court could help us out with, but we'll see. There's different rules depending on what it is.
That's the only question I've had in the
Yeah.
past week in reference to the remodel. All right, let's go on to number 15 then, action to approve claims for payment. And you have the claims and the stapled instrument. Cindy, what do we have? Anything that's
Well,
jump out?
total claims are $1,300,370.15. Of that amount, $667,043.58 is passed through to other agencies or to the state of South Dakota. I've highlighted a couple of things that are out of the ordinary. On page 3, I highlighted something in the auditor's budget, and you'll see this in a lot of the other departments' budget. We purchase our annual stock of copy paper through the Watertown School District. They have a contract for a reduced rate, and they send us an invoice every year, or a sign-up sheet every year asking us if we'd like to order our paper with them to get the reduced rate. We did check on this a couple weeks ago just to see if we are still getting that good rate, and the salesman we talked to said, stay where you're at. you're getting a very good rate on paper going through the school district. So that's what we are doing.
Page 4, yeah, over budget.
Yep, page 4, the court-appointed attorney budget is currently $5,539.97 over budget, so we will be supplementing that. I'm probably going to do that on a monthly basis every time we pay bills, just to conserve what we have in our commissioner's contingency. I also highlighted our third quarter catastrophic legal expense reimbursement program payment to the South Dakota Association of County Commissioners. That's $9,841. That's more than what we budgeted, or more than what we spent last year. We may have to do a small supplement to that budget at the end of the year, just because we did not anticipate this increase. Or we weren't made aware of the increase until after budgets were finalized.
Is that typical, like every year that changes, or is it every so
You know, it
often?
hasn't changed for a long time, but there have been a lot of catastrophic legal
just
claims.
across the state.
Yes, across the state, which affects our share. Yep.
So a lot of,
Because, yeah, I didn't
It's
think.
still very useful to us to participate in this pool, and
Oh, yeah.
we have used, actually, we have a claim in right now we're waiting to hear on, so, on one of our catastrophic legal expense claims, so. On page 5, we bought some used furniture from the clerk of court's office. We're paying South Dakota Property Management $3,500. That is to be used in the new equalization office, correct?
that came out of the equalization office's
Yes.
budget, so.
Yes, it did. And then on page 8, we have another budget that is overspent. That's the coroner budget. That's overspent $2,594.01. That is based directly on the number of incidents that have occurred in the county, unattended deaths, unusual deaths. We'll be supplementing that also with commissioner's contingency.
Did we raise that budget this year or not? Is that something we maybe need to take
You know
a
what,
look
I'll
at?
have to go and look. I think maybe I did, just based on the trend the last couple of years, but
Right.
that's something to look at too.
Because, yeah, I mean, this is not typical.
It's hard to predict though, too.
And it's just something we have no control over.
We might have left it last year, 2018, 7,500, and this year, or for 2019, 7,500.
Okay, it's probably something we'll need to go back and look at. On page 10, the Board of Mental Illness budget is overspent by $333.71, another budget that we have absolutely no control over. We'll be supplementing that. Yeah, also on page 10, we have a bill for the Memorial Park for the re-roofing of building number 3. That was a $7,600 project that the board previously approved. I think, on page 14, at the very bottom, we are paying out $102,203.93 to the fire departments that are located within Cottington County. And this is money that comes directly to the county from the state of South Dakota. It's the fire premium refund, comes from the fire marshal's office, and then it's pass-through money that we send to the local fire departments. And the payment is based on the valuation that the fire department covers, the land that the fire department covers. It's based on the valuation of all the property within that area, and it's also, half of it's based on that, and the other half is based on population, the census from 2010. So that's how we decide who gets how much of those funds.
All right, you've
Move
heard
to
city's
approve
claims.
those claims.
We have a motion by Hatton to approve,
Second?
second by Gable. Any discussion? Any discussion? See no discussion, we'll voice vote.
Gable,
Aye.
Waterman,
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Van Duzen,
Aye.
and Hanson.
Aye.
5 ayes, 0 noes. Motion carries. Let's go to number 16. Or 15, action to approve claims for payment. That's what we did. 16 is action to approve automatic budget supplements.
I have 2 of those today. The first one is from EMC Insurance. They paid us the balance of the recoverable depreciation for the hail damage to the ag building in 2017. So they gave us another $39,971.77, which will go into the ag building budget. That's where we took the charges to replace that roof. The other one is from the state of South Dakota, and it's in the amount of $2,879.94. And that was the amount that Cottington County had to spend extra for the ballot issue that was on the primary ballot. The legislature allocated funds to pay counties back for that unanticipated ballot issue on a primary election. So we received those funds from the state of South Dakota based on the extra ballots that I had to order, the extra programming involved, and the cost of publication of that extra ballot measure.
All right, you've heard the two budget supplements.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Gable, second by
Second.
Van Duzen. Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, voice vote. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Gable?
Aye.
Waterman?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Van Duzen?
Aye.
Hanton?
Aye.
5 ayes, 0 noes, motion carries. Let's go on to number 17. Action to approve personnel changes, and I think there's about 3 of them, or 4? 3 of them. Go ahead, Cindy.
The first one is Lynn Solberg, and he was previously during this meeting appointed to the position of Assistant Highway Superintendent. And the Highway Superintendent, Rick Hartley, is recommending step 5, $26.57 an hour for his starting wage for that position, based on his experience. Rebecca Ryder is a Deputy State's Attorney. She has completed her first 6 months, and the State's Attorney is recommending moving her to $29.48 per hour. And then we have another transport part-time deputy sheriff who will start at step 1, $20.76. And that would be Ed Peterson, who previously worked for the county as a deputy sheriff.
All right, you've heard the requests. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
A motion by Hatton,
I'll second it.
second by Gable. And that would include the new positions as well as their salaries.
Correct.
Any other discussion? Any other discussion? Seeing none, we'll go by voice vote. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Gable?
Aye.
Waterman?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Van Duzen?
Aye.
And Hanton?
Aye.
5 ayes, 0 noes, motion carries. Let's go on then to number 18, some travel requests. And we heard a couple of them earlier, but we have a bunch of them.
The first 2 that I've got are the Emergency Management Director and his secretary requesting authorization to attend the State Emergency Management Conference in September. And then the Director of Equalization Office, the first one is in August. It's a Department of Revenue agricultural workshop, either in Sioux Falls or Aberdeen. Looks like it is 1 overnight, unless they're traveling back and forth. I guess I'm not sure on that. She does not have lodging expense estimated. But it looks like they are staying overnight, 1 night in either venue. And then the second one is also the Director of Equalization, and this is a lot sizing and land valuation workshop, and that is in September.
All right, you've heard the requests. Motion?
I'll make a motion to.
A motion by Gable to accept. A second to that.
I'll second that.
Second by Hatton. Any discussion? Any discussion? Seeing none, voice vote. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Gable?
Aye.
Waterman?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Van Duzen?
Aye.
Hanton?
Aye.
5 ayes, 0 noes, motion carries. Old business. We have any old business to bring before the board today?
Mr. Chairman, just a
Go ahead, Lee.
just a bit more on the remodel, just reminding folks that we're in the midst of the move as phase one. That's the clerk of court's office gets completed, and so there's going to be a little bit of shuffle between the old and the new offices for both of those. So just to make the public aware of that, and if they please bear with those offices as we try to make the situation a little bit better for both clients and the folks who work there.
Okay. Anything else? Any other old business?
Possibly, I guess this is also, I attended the transitional housing meeting yesterday at noon. That's why I wasn't able to go with you guys on your tour. Still just a work in progress, trying to find sober, clean living for individuals that are going to, or hopefully participate in drug court or coming out of jail to help with our recidivism issues. So it's just a work in progress.
All right. I did attend the Watertown Development Company's seminar. Actually, what we did is we just met and filled out a questionnaire to get ideas from those that attended. And then Lee and I did attend the Upper Sioux River Watershed tour yesterday. Any others? Anybody else traveling or attend any meetings?
Actually, I did attend the Association of the County Commissioners Executive Committee meeting last week. Lee attended the resolution that he had introduced, or we did as the Sioux Valley Commission District, to authorize county sales tax to fund construction and renovation of the county courthouse and jails and regional jails was approved. There was only one other one that we approved out of the whole list. So those will be, when they're finalized, will be emailed out to all the members of the association, and those are what will be discussed at the convention this fall.
Can I just add on to what Commissioner
Go ahead.
Hatton said, Mr. Chairman? So, yeah, the resolution that started here and that went through the Sioux Valley District and now to the state level would give counties if it became law, it would give counties the authority to ask voters for sales tax, a half-penny sales tax to fund a jail or a courthouse, something that's told to us that we need to do by law, as opposed to only having the option of property tax. So that's the idea of it.
Okay. I did attend the government affairs meeting that is held on a monthly basis last Wednesday morning as well. How about new business? Any new business?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, just a
Yes.
reminder that the CCJAC meeting is tonight at 6:10 at LATI. So that's going to be happening. And then Commissioner Hanton and I are going to be sitting down talking to some people from the city about just working together. And there's a constant conversation about city infrastructure and county infrastructure, particularly in the downtown area. So we're going to be having at a meeting today for that.
I also have new information that was brought forth at the County Commissioner Executive Board meeting, and it's about 211. I don't know if any of you are aware of this. Brookings County does it, Lincoln County does it. It was actually Lincoln County Commissioner who brought it forth to us. NACO is in support of this. How it works is it takes the pressure off from 911 calls, hopefully as the people in your community realize this, that it is an option. They dial 211. It's a helpline for some sort of crisis, that, and then we can save 911 for the more emergency sort of things. This can be helping people who are having non-urgent. Sometimes there will be mental health people on the line. If there is someone who calls in with some sort of a mental health issue, it can also, it's just a broad variety of information. If they just need to know where an office is, it just goes, it's quite a broad information of database. So how this gets started is it's $1,000 per county for us to join or become part of this, the initial cost, and that's where they collect all your data. After that, it's a yearly amount of 75 cents by the number of population in your county, and that's what the cost is then to sustain it. If more than one county jumps on as a startup, then it's only $600 per county to do this. But, so some of the coverages is 24/7 coverage, phone, email, two-way texting capabilities for individuals to seek help, public online database of local resources, printable basic needs of the resource guide, regional data reporting, community sign-up partnerships. So, I mean, it's just a broad scope of what can be obtained through this. So it might be something we would like to think about. This is an updated list of the counties that are currently doing this, so. Anyway,
That's 75 cents
per individual, yep, it's 75 cents by your, times your population, and that's.
Mr. Chair,
Sir, go ahead, Troy.
Commissioner Gann, is that, would that be a telephone surcharge that would go onto the bill, or how do they bill that?
It would be billed through the county. The county would pay for that, and then it would be free to the individuals that live in the county. It's a free call, or a free, you dial 211 or text. So,
Yeah. It would be a fee of about $24,000 a year.
yep, for our county.
For people that, I'm not gonna nix that right in the bud, it sounds wonderful, but I think it's something that people could take care of on their own. If they're,
Okay, I know, when I said 75 cents per person, but I used the number 24,000 in the county, is that about in the neighborhood?
The census,
Yeah.
it's,
and I can
28
only
something.
see, I can only see that going elevated from there on.
24,000 times 75 cents was 18,000 something or other, so it's
Is our
steady.
population about 32,000?
Oh, I said
And
20.
Mr. Chair,
No, I
no, the
think-
census is only 20-some thousand, I'd have to look it up.
It's 20-something, 23, 24,
Go
somewhere
ahead,
there.
Troy. Troy has a question.
well, that's why I asked that question, if it would be something that could be assessed to like a 911 surcharge on a cell phone bill. If it would bill out that way, that would be a lot easier.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't believe so. I think they just do a flat rate of 75 cents per whatever your population is to sustain it.
Cindy, what's our 911 fees right now per phone?
I don't know. We pay that all to the city of Watertown. It was, I'd have to look at the bill. I'm just not even sure.
Because the taxes on a cell phone bill already are between 20 and 25%. Or all phones.
The estimated population for Cottington County is 28,099.
This was just information that was brought forth that I thought I would share. If it's something that we would ever be interested in getting more information, more details, there are individuals who will come to the meeting and visit with us. So, just an FYI.
Mr. Chairman, a couple of things just
Yes.
to, one is I'm going to be attending the Juvenile Detention Alternative Initiative, another workshop. This one's in Albuquerque, New Mexico, on a state-funded trip. So some of us from Cottington County, I'm going with one of the judges, and someone from the school district, and Davison County has a healthy contingent there. So we're going to be looking at some of the things that they've set up in that county for juvenile detention alternatives. So that'll be gone tomorrow through Friday on that one. So,
And I'm sure I heard that it's nice and cool in Albuquerque right now.
yeah.
Thinking
Yeah.
the temperatures dropped below 115, so it should be an enjoyable trip.
Did any of the rest of you receive the email from Chris Jacobson on the White House Office of Intergovernmental
Yeah, I got
Affairs?
that from the White House, and then I got a call from them too. That's such short notice. It's the 30th of
August 30th, yeah, I'll be at an
Yeah.
ICAP conference, so I wouldn't be able to attend.
It'd be
but-
cool, but
So they're inviting,
yeah.
let's see, what is it, Wyoming and North Dakota and South Dakota.
I think
Well,
it's
no.
at your own expense, isn't it?
It's at your
No.
county's expense, yeah.
Oh, I thought NACO was,
No.
NACO has arranged for pre-gathering. Okay,
Well,
I
they
was
want-
thinking that NACO was paying for this.
No,
I don't
but
think so.
it's the guy that called me kind of said, well, they just want to have a dialogue directly with counties, with local leaders. I mean, okay, that's good. It was just kind of short notice. I think it's a good idea. I mean, obviously it's good to have a dialogue at the national level, but was kind of short notice to be planning for a, you know, if you have time to buy plane tickets, they're a lot cheaper, so,
Right.
you know, but,
All right, I didn't know if the rest of you received that.
Yeah, I got
Anyway,
One thing that, and I don't know, should go into old business or new, we were talking about, if you have any ideas for topics during the state conference. The one that we talked about, Cindy, I think, Brenda, I think.
I know, we were trying to remember
We
what that
can't remember
was.
what it was.
on supplemental retirement through the retirement system.
Nope,
No,
that's not the one,
that
nope.
wasn't it.
Was
That's
that
not the
that
one.
we're talking about?
No.
Someone
Nope.
from the retirement system?
Nope, that's
put
not
in
the one.
the ones I've mentioned in the past to them are ones about like how, what are the ways that counties can invest their money. We're very limited on that, but kind of understanding that, you know, money that we might have in
think
reserve.
that
I
was
know
it.
it's extremely limited. That's what I've suggested in the past when they've sent
Yeah.
out emails. And another one is how do other counties handle capital improvement? And so that's,
Yeah.
you know, those are always tough, expensive issues, so.
Sounds like a roundtable discussion there.
Yeah, well, I mean, either way, it's
Could
good,
be,
it's
yeah.
good, it'd be an interesting topic.
All right. Any other new business? How about open? Anything for the open? Anyone have anything for the open?
Well, we do have a possibility of having a quorum tonight at the CJAC meeting, 6:10 at LATI. Tomorrow, there's several of us commuting to Madison for the Sioux Valley Commissioner meeting. Thursday night is Search and Rescue fundraiser. And that is all that I have, that there could be a quorum of commissioners unless someone else has something.
Just,
Anyone else have anything?
next week to be aware of, after our meeting on the 21st, we'll have at noon, there'll be a JDAI meeting, and that's part of that assessment that the the state level is doing of our juvenile detention to give us a baseline. And then right after that, at 1, there'll be a stepping up or a behavioral health and justice working group meeting. So those will be back to back, and some folks from Minnehaha County will happen to be here. They'll be here to do the JDAI assessment, but they'll be present at both of those meetings.
I think she's going to be here for the noon one. I don't know if she's staying for the last one, but anyway, okay.
So that's, and one procedural question I had on agenda item number 6, do we need to take action to postpone, or is just no action since it said didn't
No
say?
action today. We're going to put it on the agenda for next
Do we have to
week.
take action to postpone it? That's a
I don't
question.
think we need to take action.
If we don't, that's fine, just,
No.
Something that we should also maybe, where we're at with that contract with Lutheran Social Services on the diversion program.
on the
that
behavioral health
contract?
diversion.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a budget discussion. Did you get an email from Angela? She talked about, it was a spreadsheet that explained how it's under budget, so that's, you know, that's good, so it's not, but,
The contract would have ran out in July, I believe.
yeah, so we do need to talk about that. So that's probably something we need to put on the, you know, we'll.
Have you got that, Cindy?
Charlie, $1.25 is the monthly surcharge for 911. No, what,
Yeah, I
What's on
think
the
that's something,
agenda?
let me talk to Angela about that one, because we need to put that, make sure that that's on the agenda for
Contract
Tuesday.
with LSS.
So, yeah.
okay, yep.
Who's all going tomorrow to the Sioux Valley Conference?
I'll be
I
in Albuquerque, so
Oh,
Yeah,
Brenda,
I'll
I
you,
will be, yeah.
and I. How about Troy?
I will not be there.
He'll not be here. So it's Brenda and I, okay? Should we travel together, or
Get the vehicle or
you want to
whatever.
get the vehicle in?
Yep, I will check on
We'll
that.
leave out
We'll just
here
get a smaller one and go, yeah.
11?
Construction project.
Will that get us there in time? By noon? 11?
Now we're
Yeah.
down there.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
should be
11.
fine.
We'll meet you out here at 11. All right. Unless any.
Commissioner Gable,
yes,
I
Commissioner.
will be at the CCJAC meeting this evening.
Yay, good.
Will anyone
Glad.
from the office wish to travel with us?
I'm impressed.
Not just Brenda and I.
Carol and I were just going to take my vehicle down. Because, yeah, you guys don't always meet as long
Yeah,
as.
sometimes we all get done at different times. and-
All right.
So,
We offered.
I know.
All right. Anything else for the open? I have no requests for a executive
So
session.
make a motion to
So I
adjourn.
have a motion to adjourn from Hatton, a second from Gable. All in favor, voice vote indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
I
Well,
Aye.
can you hear Troy?
That's good enough.
We heard Troy.
Aye?
All right, thank you.
Got it.
We are adjourned. Have a good week.
You didn't want to adjourn?
If anybody is taking their spouse to the Monday night event at the conference,